The article, There Is No Epidemic of Fatal Police Shootings Against Unarmed Black Americans, is up on LarryElder.com, as is Breakdown, the Unwinding of Law and Order in Our Cities that has happened with stunning speed. The author of both those pieces is my guest. She is a Manhattan Institute senior fellow. Please welcome back to the program. The author of The Diversity Delusion, The War on Cops, How the New Attack on Law and Order Makes Everyone Less Safe. Please welcome back to the program, Heather McDonald.
Well, Larry, it's an honor to be with a successful filmmaker. Congratulations on your debut and the great benefit and service you've done to your country with your film.
Well, thank you, Heather. I'm getting such amazing feedback. You know, I had my worst-case scenario, sort of what I thought would likely happen, and best-case scenario. It has shattered my best-case scenario. I mean, not even close to what I thought was going to happen. In terms of revenue, in terms of critical reviews, it's just been off the chart.
Well, fantastic, because to break through the media wall at this point with these fake stories is a real accomplishment. So anybody that can get a new product out there in this current environment has made something that is absolutely unavoidable and demands attention. So congratulations.
Well, Heather, thank you for that. Now, let's talk about Breakdown. The unwinding of law and order in our cities has happened, you say, with stunning speed. Talk to us.
Well, we saw in 2015 and 2016, during the first iteration of the Black Lives Matter movement and narrative, a increase in black homicide deaths that was unprecedented for 50 years in American history. Another 2,000 black males died by drive-by shootings in 2015 and 2016. What I called the Ferguson effect. Why did that happen? Because officers being told relentlessly by the mainstream media, by the occupant of the White House, that they were racist for trying to save lives in black neighborhoods, stopped doing a lot of the discretionary activity that they were being told was racist. The result was a horrible crime increase that took black lives. What's happened in the last month is at such greater magnitude and speed than we saw in that first iteration that took months to show up. You had to wait after the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri in August 2014, which was viewed as this outbreak of police racism, which is a complete lie. It took months for the crime increase to start happening. What we've seen in these last 3 weeks, Larry, is absolutely terrifying. City after city, whether it's New York, Chicago, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Atlanta, are seeing crime records being set that is absolutely terrifying, and it's not going to slow down because unlike in 2015 and 2016, yes, they had the President Obama then backing the Black Lives Matter narrative. We don't have that in the White House today, fortunately, but you have every single mainstream institution, every Fortune 500 corporation embracing this phony narrative about police racism, delegitimating the most important institution that a society has, which is law enforcement, its neutral criminal justice system. Cops are under enormous pressure. They are getting attacked when they get out of their squad cars. They're having trash, glass bottles thrown at them, people trying to wrench from the patrol cars, gun suspects who were just shooting at people. We are going to see now a spreading crime across this country that is going to bring us back to the 1960s.
The piece is called There Is No Epidemic of Fatal Police Shootings Against Unarmed Black Americans. It is written by my guest, Heather McDonald. It's up on LarryElder.com. Heather, to what degree are we seeing this violence because the man in the White House is Donald J. Trump?
Well, that certainly has created a narrative that had pre-existed this, that somehow he represents racial division, which is hilarious. I mean, I've been tracking this trope for months, that Trump is sowing racial division, as opposed to saying that the majority of Americans are characterized by white supremacy. We saw that theme during the Democratic primary before it was shut down. And that was supposed to be a unifying message. Now that has been pumped up. We see this magnificent speech at Mount Rushmore being portrayed as dark and divisive when it was just the opposite. So, yes, I think you're absolutely right that that Trump has created a level of hysteria in a pre-existing hatred of American values that is ratcheting this up.
My guest is Heather McDonald of the Manhattan Institute. Heather, talk about the actual data on police killings. Do the data not only do the data not show that the police are disproportionately using deadly force against blacks? If anything, the data shows the police are more hesitant, more reluctant to do so.
Well, it's always hard to take in numbers on the radio, but I'll just give your listeners one. That number is 9. 9 is the number of unarmed blacks who were killed by the police in 2019, according to the Washington Post database of fatal police shootings. That was what they were showing on June 1st. I publicized that number. Since then, the Post has tried to change its numbers 6 months after closing its database. They're now up to 15. They simply recategorized armed victims as unarmed. But whether it's 9 or 15, let's look at 9. That's 0.1% of all blacks who were killed by homicide in 2018 and 2019. That about 7,300 blacks were killed by homicide. The police could end all fatal shootings tomorrow. And most of the police's fatal shootings are of armed, violent, resisting suspects. And it would have almost no effect on the black death by homicide rate. Blacks are about 23% of all people killed by the cops each year. The cops kill about 1,000 people each year.
Heather, we're going to take a break right here. When we come back, I want to find out what kinds of training changes, if any, need to be made in our police departments. Heather McDonald is my guest. I'm Larry Elder.